Is poop a pain in your grass? Call Mr. Pooper Scooper, a professional dog waste business. They pick up and haul away all waste and will also disinfect cement and decks where the waste was removed. All waste is then turned into renewable energy. For cleaner yards and happier pets, go to mrpooperscooper.ca. What's going on, all you beauts and beauties? Welcome to the Hat Trick Hockey Podcast, brought to you by GL Heritage, the official brewery of the HCH podcast. I am your host, Brett Hedges, alongside the creator of the host, Anthony Toolbox Tony Gaudet. Welcome back to the show, my friend. It's episode 186. Can you imagine that you've had the follow through to do this 186 times? I'm proud
I'm
of you, honestly.
it's been a grind. Let's just say that it's had its ups, it's had its downs. Overall though, it's been pretty sweet. We've met a lot of people, we've done a lot of crazy things kind of so far, and we have a lot crazier in store. So,
For sure.
I mean, it's led us to you, it's led me to like Tristan, it's like, you know what I mean? So it's like, well, I've known you forever, but I mean, like, we never really got to like hang out or do anything like that. Like, not like we're doing now. Let's put it that
That,
way.
that's for
And
sure.
but yeah, man, it's been good. But I'm looking forward to episode 200. I'm trying to get us a banger interview for it. I'm not gonna say who, um, but I'm trying to get us like a really big interview for that 200 episode. So
Yeah,
we're working on that.
absolutely. We're coming up on the 1 year mark where I
Yeah.
have joined forces with you guys
Has
too.
it been that long already?
Yeah, I think it's coming up. I don't remember exactly, but it's coming up. I know that. I think it was like
Oh
April or May that I
shit.
started.
Holy
But
shit.
hey, do you like the hat that Anthony's got on his head? Do you like the nice sweater that I've got on, supporting one of our wonderful guests, Lee Harris?
Hmm.
Go to our merchandise shop in the link described as well. Go to the social media platforms as well. Give us a follow for all things HTH. This week, we're going to talk Four Nations hockey. We're going to give you a PJHL playoff preview. Say that three times fast. And we're going
Yeah.
to finish things off with some chat about our Windsor Spitfires. So, first and foremost, Ant, how entertained were you
Oh,
by the Canada USA hockey game this past week?
well, holy shit. First of all, let's address the elephant in the room. There was three fights, 9 seconds of play.
Awesome.
Um, After the first one, I was kind of like, okay, but then I seen Brady barking and I said, I'm like, they're gonna go now. And then there was another fight. And then I'm like, okay, it's gonna calm down a little bit. No, it didn't. There was another one. Um, Not the way I thought it was going to start. One, okay. Three, a little wild. But once everything settled down, like McDavid, holy shit, that goal he scored was really nice. Um,
Best on best international competition, man, is very entertaining.
and oh, like, why do we fuck the All-Star game? Like, don't get the All-Star game out here, shoot that to the moon. And because the All-Star game is boring. Like, I want to watch these guys play for something. I want to watch everybody, but they're at risk for injury and this and that. I get it. But technically, if it's still through the league, they're still kind of.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I had no idea what this was. I
Mhm.
knew that there was a 2 week break coming up, and I had forgotten that they were doing this international competition. I'm like, okay, I'm going in with the eyes wide open, and I listened to the one game where I was listening to the one game at work where USA beat Finland like 5-1. I was like, okay, like it was still entertaining. It was 2-1 game in early in the third, then
Yeah.
the or sorry 1-1 before going into the third, and then the US poured it on. But that was great. Canada obviously scores 90 seconds into their first game against Sweden. Really cool. They capped that off
Hmm.
with an overtime winner with Marner, like entertainment
Yeah.
value through the roof. And then
Hmm.
they finished things off, like not didn't finish things off, then they have the big game with United States and Canada, and
Yeah.
obviously USA gets that win. And we're really happy
Yeah.
for Larkin to get the winner for that. Like
Yeah. For
as
sure.
us as like where we're from, Windsor and
We're Red
Detroit
Wing fans.
we're Detroit, yeah, we're Windsor Detroit fans. We're like, okay, like I'm mad that we're losing because it's Canada, but I'm like, hey, cool for Larkin that he's
Yeah.
scored these big
First
goals.
thing, man, when he scored, the first guy that flew out of my mouth was, "You son of a bitch."
Yeah. And like listening to the Detroit radio stations after, they're like, yeah, like they're so pumped that he that
Mhm.
he that he did that and stuff. And
Yeah.
but yeah, it was super entertaining. Like Canada gets to defeats Finland as
Yeah.
well. And So they are going to the championship game that they're having on Thursday.
Yeah.
If anything else, I really don't care who wins or loses this one. If anything else, like this sets up a big kind of storyline, like some big storylines and like a lot of emphasis being put on the Olympics next year.
Hey, you know what? US, we owe you one.
Yeah.
Because that last one, you guys won there, the 2-1 game, or whatever. You guys talk a lot of shit after. Okay. So you want it on Thursday. Fucking bring it. Canada's coming. Listen, we're not making excuses. You guys beat us. You were the better team. You played the better game. But guess what? We're going to hit, and it's going to hurt when it counts. And I'm telling you right now, the only part that scares me when it comes to Canada's is in net. Do we go with Hill in this game? Do we stay with Bennington? What are we doing here? I just thought he's throughout the thing, he's let in a couple poopers, and against the US, you're gonna want to play a near perfect game. Now they're calling in another Hughes to play there too. So like they're gonna be firing on all cylinders too. I'm not talking down the US. I'm just saying in best on best since the 70s, you're 14-4-1 against Canada. Just saying. So calm the fuck down, number one. And two, let's go, baby. Bring
Yeah,
it.
have
This
some fun
this
with
is
it.
what it's about. This is what we wanted. This is an overall, it's what's best for hockey right now. And it's thriving right now. Look at the NBA fucking All-Star game. Snooze fest. Are these guys even breaking a sweat out there? Probably not. And these
Nope.
guys are dropping the mitts, 3 scraps in the freaking Four Nations face-off game. Let's go, baby. Like,
It's perfect. And obviously it's not everyone that's going to be in the Olympics
mhm.
was at this little tournament, but like this little mini tournament there. But cool that they were able to do
Yeah.
two separate like kind of like
Yeah.
country rivalries in the same time of this little tournament, bringing together the international audience
Mm.
and bringing that viewership there, but also like coming to Montreal for a couple days and then Boston for a couple days. Like, where is the Thursday game being played at?
Mhm. That will
Is it back
be at
in
TD
Boston?
Garden.
Okay, so it's in Boston again.
It's
Okay,
in
cool.
Boston. So
Because I heard something about Toronto, but I didn't
I
think that
don't
was.
know if it was Jeff Merrick or Biz or somebody or Wit on Chicklets. They said, once all this shit's done with Russia and this and that, why don't you open it up and do like a big, like kind of international thing, but like put some of the like teams overseas, put them over there playing, doing the same thing.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Like put a couple of them over there, put US and Canada over here, like and just like make it like a global thing.
Almost like a World Cup.
Yeah. But the
Have
only
some
thing is though, how much would it cost to how much you would but you would be surprised if you're doing it though in a couple different countries, all and I mean all at the same time.
Yeah, it would be difficult, but it would be really cool
It's
if they got on board with that.
yeah, I don't know. Just keep doing this. Fuck the All-Star game.
Yeah, and and I've already heard discussions from other leagues, like people in the NBA saying like, why can't we do that? Like they want to do
Yeah.
like world versus the the world versus the USA
Yeah.
basketball game. They've had that in the past, but at the end of the day, they still have to try. Like, so they have
Yeah.
to make that generation of basketball players actually has to want to try. And the
Yes.
guys
They
in
say
hockey,
best on best, right?
yeah, like I don't know. There's nothing you can really fix with the All-Star game if guys don't want to participate. Any other thoughts about the Four Nations hockey face-off
Go
before we head
Canada.
over to PJHL?
Go Canada.
Go Canada, go. If we lose, oh well, we'll
Puck
see.
drop, I believe, is Thursday night, 8 p.m. too, I
Yeah,
believe.
I'll be at work for that, so I'll be listening to it for sure.
I'll be watching.
Well, some other big time hockey action is going on in the area. The PJHL is in playoff mode. Some teams are
Yeah.
actually still finishing up some regular season games in other divisions, but the
Yeah.
Stobbs division wrapped up regular season play this past weekend, and we are in the playoffs. And at the time of this recording, the Essex 73s have a 1-0 lead in their
Yes.
series against the Walpole Island Wild. And
Yeah.
there are three other series that we are going to preview after we discuss game one. And
Well, it was Essex came out firing, man. And actually Walpole for the most part, like they came out, I don't think there was it took a while for the first goal of the game to be scored.
mhm.
like Walpole was hanging right with him. Rawlings made some really nice saves last night too. He
Rollins is a
seems
really
to,
talented goaltender.
yeah, he seems to always make those big saves. But just pulling up the thing here. But he was normal Mitch Rawlings. He was sprawled out at times. We stretched him out at times, but he was fantastic. But the boys just turned it on, dude. It was just boom, 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 boom. I think McManus had two. Um, Piccolo, I think, had one. Shirk had one. Are you pulling it up right now?
Yeah, so Pat McManus had 2 goals. Dumbinski had a goal and two
Yeah.
assists. Claridge had a goal and an assist. Dowling had a goal, 2 assists. McCabe had a goal, 2 assists in that game as well.
Mhm.
1 goal for Luke Shirk in 6 penalty minutes, right on cue. Adrian McBride makes 11 saves on 12 shots for his 19th win of the season.
It's insane.
Including, yeah, he's only got 1 loss on the year. Good for him. Um, but yeah, though the Essex 73s put up 51 shots, Mitch Rawlings does his best, but
He made
just
44 saves.
yeah, it's tough.
Like what's the guy got to do? But it was just they were all over him, dude.
Yeah.
All over him.
Essex went up 3-0 in the first period. 2 goals
Yeah.
by Patty McManus in the first period, right? They're feeling it. Um,
Yeah.
before Walpole Island gets one at 16:28 of the
Yeah. It
first
was a nice
period. I
shot
think.
too.
Oh yeah, for sure. Nice goal
Yeah.
by Connor DeBot there.
Yeah.
On the power play, right? Get them back in it, but
Point shot.
point shot, yeah.
Yeah.
But then thinking if you're down 3-1, if you're Walpole Island, you know what? I think feel pretty good about myself going in. But they give up a late power play goal to Cale McCabe, and 4-1 after that, and Essex was just in control. In the
Yeah.
second period, Will Claridge scores halfway through the period to go up 5-1, and in the third period, Nate Dowling and Carter Dembinski do the rest.
Yeah.
And
Bada boom, bada bing.
yeah,
And sorry, but it's so we're there on Saturday for
yeah, Saturday, February
game two.
22nd, 5 p.m.
And
Essex is
yeah.
at Walpole,
And
and
then we're
then they're
back
going to be
home
back
Tuesday.
at home on Tuesday, February 25th, 7 p.m. at the Essex Arena.
Yes, sir. But yeah,
Game.
so I don't
Mhm.
know. In a way, like I don't want to sound like a dick, but the game kind of went the way I thought it was going to, and
Yeah, this is typical of a 1 versus 8 matchup, right? It's gonna be tough sledding for Walpole Island to take a game,
it
especially
it
on the road.
it got chippy,
Yeah,
chippy, and like it's what I mean. It's only the first game. I'm like shit. So what's it gonna be? What's it gonna be like as the series goes on? So
yeah,
the way I look at it is like let's get out of this series with no one hurt, no one kicked out. So and let's just I'll take that as a win.
yep. So game three would be Tuesday the 25th
Yeah.
at 7 p.m. regular Essex 73's home game day, and then
Mhm.
the Thursday, February 27th would be game four, 8:30 at Walpole Island.
Yeah.
Game five, if necessary, would be back in Essex March 2nd, 2:30 in Essex. That would be a Sunday afternoon
Yeah.
game there.
Matinee game.
Yeah. Game six would be March 3rd, and game seven would be back in Essex on Tuesday, March 4th. I believe these first round series need to be wrapped up by March 5th or something, right?
Yeah,
There's like
I believe so. Yeah.
yeah. Do you want let's I'm just gonna give out some dates and times for other series matchups, and you can give me your thoughts as we go along. We'll go quickly first with the Lakeshore Canadians, the number 2 seed, taking on the Dresden Kings. Dresden did take a game over Lakeshore this
Hmm.
year. I believe that was right before the Christmas break. Um, Lakeshore, a couple of points just behind Essex, very good
Yeah.
all year round. Going to be tough for Dresden to pull this one off. Game one, Thursday, February 20th, 7 p.m. Dresden's going to travel to Lakeshore Atlas Tube Center, beautiful rink. They're going to
Yeah.
go back to Dresden for the Friday night, February 21st, 7:30 at Dresden at Ken Houston Agricultural Center there. With the Timmies right next door. Love it.
Yeah.
You remember those trips to Dresden when you were playing Harrow hockey.
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
Lakeshore is going to host Dresden on Sunday, February 23rd at 7 p.m. So a Sunday night game for them. Then Dresden will go back on the road. Lakeshore will go back on the road for game four, Wednesday, February 26th, 8:30 back at Dresden. Game five would be Friday, at Lakeshore on the 28th. Saturday, March 1st would be game 5 in Dresden at 8 o'clock. And then then game 7 would be Tuesday, March 4th in Lakeshore. I think Lakeshore's got a lot of firepower. It's going to be
Yeah.
hard for if Dresden can keep it low scoring, they've got themselves a chance. If they can maybe get themselves a win in get goalied a little bit, but I like Lakeshore's chances in this one.
Yeah.
I'm really interesting to see. I want to see Spitfires pick Nick Rosati. I want to try and maybe get to one of these games in the first couple rounds to
We
check out.
we can hook you up with some seats. We know guys.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. So I want to see if I can sneak out there.
Yeah,
So
we can get you there.
series for sure. Maybe I'll take our new cameraman Owen to
Yeah.
go check out a game. In so the two other series that are happening in the Stobbs division, I feel are really intriguing. First off, do you want to go Moortown Blenheim first, or you want to go Wheatley Amherstburg?
Wheatley Amherstburg, because I'm actually really looking forward to that series.
Me too. Why are you looking forward to it?
Just because I feel that the teams are pretty evenly matched, and I just want to see two good hockey teams have a great series, and that's exactly what that one's going to be. I couldn't tell you who's going to win that series.
And I had a conversation with Tristan about this yesterday before recording this because I couldn't really get I wanted to make sure that my opinion wasn't me just kind of hedging. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like just to say, oh, it could be a long series, it could be seven. I think this one is gonna go at least 6 or 7
Yeah.
games.
Oh yeah,
Like,
100%.
and I feel like the one big thing that I talked with Tristan about, I feel like home ice is gonna be a big factor, right? Wheatley's got the bigger ice,
Hmm.
right? They obviously know how to play it better. Amherstburg, the rinks, it's smaller compared to Wheatley, right? Like it'd be like going from Essex Arena to go playing in like Leamington. It's just a bigger ice pad, right? Um, as far as I remember.
Hmm.
Um, this series is gonna start. So this series could be finished before Essex hosts before they host game 3. Um, because they've got a bunch of games tightly packed together here. So game one's going to be Wednesday, February 19th at 7:30 at the Shark Tank in Wheatley, the Wheatley Olmsted Sharks. There,
Yeah.
love those jerseys, those the nice blue. This is going to be like the battle of the blue jerseys. I just realized that.
Yeah.
Then on Saturday, February 22nd, Wheatley is going to go on the road to Amherstburg for the Admirals, hosting them in game 2. That's going to be 7:30 at what's it called? Libro Center. Yeah, I should know that. The Libro Center in Amherstburg. I spent enough time in Amherstburg.
Yeah.
Russell Vaughn and the boys, man, they got I'm looking forward to seeing what they do in their, home playoff game, right? It's a franchise on the rise. I thought
Mhm.
that they were gonna sneak into like the third spot if they could get a couple of big wins down there, but Johnny Moortown kind of shut things down in the last game for them. The weekend last of the series of the of the last game of the weekend. Sorry.
Yeah, Johnny will do that to you.
Yeah, that was a 6-0 game there.
Yeah.
Big 4 point swing in the standings. Moortown gets 3, Wheatley gets 4, and Amherstburg gets 5. Kind of just how like we talked about.
We
Uh,
kind of hit it almost right on the head.
we knew it was going to be a coin flip between these two teams. They were tied going into the last game of the regular season. So game 2 would be February 22nd, Wheatley at Amherstburg. Game 3
Mhm.
would be back in Wheatley Sunday night at the Shark Tank, February
Yeah.
23rd at 7 o'clock there. Game 4, Wheatley on the road back to Amherstburg Tuesday, February 25th at 7:30. Game 5, I can almost guarantee that we're going to need a game 5, game 6, game 7. So let's go over those in detail. February 26th, the Wednesday. So, game 4, game 5 would be back to back. Amherstburg would go on the road back to Wheatley for a 7:30 game there. Then they would get a couple of days off for game 6, March 1st, 7:30 Wheatley at Amherstburg, and then game 7 would be March 2nd, 6:15 in Wheatley there. So home ice, I feel, is going to be a big factor in this game, in this
Also,
entire
too,
series.
if Essex were to beat Walpole, would Essex get the winner of this series?
Yes, unless if it's a bracket. then
I
that would
think
be. But
everybody
if Blenheim,
reseed.
but if Blenheim upset Moortown, I think you would play Blenheim.
Okay.
I think that's how it goes. But let me, because I can't, because it's just showing
Yeah,
us.
that Moore or sorry, not Moortown, that Wheatley and Amherstburg series. I'm gonna tell you, people, if you can get out to a game in that series, go.
Please,
Yes,
for
because
your own
like,
entertainment.
yeah, oh, I'm telling you right now, I might be firing up the old frickin' sim screen here, watching it on the thing, because like that's probably where I'll watch the whole run here with Essex when they're on the road. I'll watch it right here at home on the big simulator screen.
Yeah,
But
I'm thinking like I think on the 24th I'd be on days, so I wouldn't be able to come hang out with you for the Sunday game, but maybe Tuesday the 25th, maybe I'd be able to sneak out for you,
mhm,
but you'd be back to work.
yeah, we'll
Who
talk
knows?
about that after. But yeah, what's the other series then? It's Moortown Blenheim.
Moortown and Blenheim. And when I was talking with Tristan about this one, and it just got me on a Johnny Chartrand kind of rabbit hole, so to speak, based on his stats and stuff. And I looked it up, and I wanted to share this with Tristan. Actually, I wanted to give you my take on Wheatley and Amherstburg too, because I did write them down. Um, where is he at here? With Wheatley and Amherstburg, I just said that I think that home ice will play a factor. These teams are so evenly matched; it will almost guaranteed be a 7 game series. When looking at the numbers, and obviously like numbers aren't everything, but when I look at these rosters and these depth charts and stuff, it seems like Aberg and Amherstburg spreads out the scoring on their lineup a little bit more evenly. But Wheatley, it's a lot of it is their top four guys scoring big goals for them. Their top four players have between 19 and 24 goals. And then
Mhm,
the next highest scorer for them, goal scorer, is a defenseman with seven goals. So I just think that that's going to be like that's how these two teams match up, right? Like Wheatley's top players are their top players,
mhm.
and Amherstburg's a little bit more evenly distributed. So it's all going to depend on who shows up. These power plays, who takes timely penalties at the right time, and seeing if these goaltenders for Wheatley can step up, right? Russell Vaughn played a lot of games this year. He had
Yeah,
over a 3 goals against average. If he can tighten that down to 1 or 2 goals a game, I think Amherstburg got a really good chance to win.
yeah, for
And
sure. Like I said, I couldn't even say who I think is gonna win that series because to be honest with you, I don't know.
yeah, so I was looking just at like I like to look at goalies for because
Yeah,
it tells us a lot about teams. And
yeah,
Jackson
but
Drysdale and Ethan Hanley,
yeah, I was gonna say
who,
they got Squid over there in Whately.
yeah,
Yeah,
was which one's that?
Hanley.
Yeah, he's played a lot of minutes in this league, and
Hmm.
looking at his numbers, he's been very good. So we'll see who gets to start in each game for Wheatley, and where they can go from there.
Yeah.
For Blenheim and Moortown, I really think that this is going to be like the Johnny Chartrand showcase because this kid has just been unreal all season long, and it's been a lot of fun. Like I've caught, like like I'll catch the live streams and stuff, and if I see that it's a Moortown thing, if I've got 5-10 minutes, I'm gonna peek in just to see
Hmm.
if I can see some big saves from him. He's a lot of fun to watch. So,
Oh yeah,
any thoughts on that series before I give my take?
Johnny Moortown, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that that I think that'll be another long series too. Like you could see if I could see a six game series with that one probably. I'm
Hmm.
gonna give um the edge to Moortown, obviously, just based on them in net alone. And Moortown, don't get me wrong, they can score goals too. So,
Oh yeah, they came
but
up big in that game against Amherstburg. They picked up a
yeah,
6-0 win, right? Obviously,
yeah,
I don't know everything that happened in that game, but 6-0 is 6-0
yes. But when you have Johnny in the pipes for you, you probably got a pretty good shot. So,
for sure. And Blenheim's got some talented players too.
yeah,
They've got the Graham brothers, and
yep.
they've got a lot of
Those
firepower.
guys have been fucking ridiculous this year.
uh,
Ridiculous.
for sure. So I think that, in my opinion, the biggest thing will be if Moortown can get a lead one in the game and two in the series, I think that
Hmm.
that will help them a lot to be able to kind of, not lean on Johnny, but like let his play kind of dictate how
Yeah.
things go,
Yeah.
and how you go. It's going to be difficult if, say, Blenheim comes out game one and comes up 2-0 in the first period, right? It
Yeah.
might be a little bit more difficult for Moortown to mount that kind of comeback because
Hmm.
then they're going to have to, they're going to have to outplay them in the, outscore them by two in the
Yeah.
last 40 minutes of play, right? That's difficult for any team. So the starts of these games are going to be very important because if Johnny gets settled in his net, it's going to be very hard, no matter how talented whatever unit it is,
Hmm.
for them to score in that
Yeah.
environment. So
Both of those teams have some big boys too, so look for that to be a physical series as well.
yeah, I'll be making sure I check out the penalty
Hmm.
minutes and stuff
Yeah.
when I look at game score recaps. For game one, that's going to be Saturday, February 22nd. So this is going to be the latest starting series in the entire Stobbs Division playoffs.
Hmm.
February 22nd, game one, Blenheim's going to be at Moortown at 7:30. Then they're going to come back to Blenheim on Sunday night, February 23rd at 7 p.m. Wednesday, February 26th would be game three, Moortown hosting Blenheim. And then on game four would be the next night in Blenheim, February 27th. So this is going to start late, but they're going to pick up really quickly. And then, if it goes past four games, which I think we can almost
Yeah.
certainly, no, I think Blenheim's going to at least get one.
Yeah. So I believe
Right.
the
So,
reason why this series is starting so late too is because they had a couple games get called off because of snow up there. So travel, they couldn't travel. So that's
yeah.
probably why that series is starting so late.
For sure, yeah. Moortown was still finishing the regular season on Sunday. Same with Lakeshore, right? So
Yeah.
yeah, Moortown played Saturday and Sunday, so
Yeah.
that makes sense. Give them some break time.
Yeah.
Game five, six, and seven. I think we these are definitely could possibly be needed for sure because I think that Blenheim plays much better at home. I could see them
Mhm.
definitely taking one, if not both, of their home games, and then forcing it to make it a best of three in the last two. So
Mhm.
Saturday, March 1st would be game five, Blenheim at Moortown 7:30. And then game six would be the next night back in Blenheim, March 2nd, there. So game seven, if necessary, would be on the last day that this series could be played, March 5th. Moortown would be hosting that one. So all the games in Moortown are at 7:30. Just one of the games in Blenheim is at 7:30. So that game four would be Thursday at 7:30. So yeah,
It's going to be interesting.
yeah, and obviously, it's it's easy to speculate and be like, oh, blah blah blah. But once these series get going, it's going to be a lot of fun to game by game. It's going to be a fun battle. So
Yeah.
it's going to be fun to be on the outside looking in. Any other thoughts on the PJHL playoff breakdown, my friend?
No, that's pretty well it.
Can I just give me when I wanted to finish my point about Johnny Chartrand about how sometimes goals against average and save percentage aren't everything. When I
Mhm.
was looking up the Moortown Blenheim series, I was looking up some things about Johnny Chartrand, and I found out that when I looked at goals against average and save percentage and stuff, that he wasn't in the top 20. But that's because this guy, Johnny Chartrand, and this is why, if we had division MVPs, like I feel like this guy should definitely be the division MVP, even though he's not like a top scorer in the league. He is a goaltender, right?
Mhm.
But Johnny Chartrand played the second most games and played the second most minutes of any goaltender in the PJHL this year. He played 37 games and he had 2,156 minutes. So 2,156 minutes played. He was only 74 minutes behind another goaltender. So he had one more, that other guy had one more start and he probably played some more overtime
Yeah.
than Johnny. That was it. Johnny also had the most saves in the PJHL with 1,362, while also facing the highest amount of shots against in the entire PJHL, 1,481. So I just wanted to give the kid his flowers.
Jesus.
It's hard playing goaltender.
Mr.
Uh,
Michelin Man.
yeah, and that's why I gave him the nickname Johnny Moortown because every time I look at a recap or a box score, he's making 40 plus saves. And when your goaltender is your best player, you win a lot of games. and
Mm-hmm.
he won 18 games this year. He had 13 losses. He started 37 games. Um, and goals against average and save percentage and stuff, it can be misleading. This guy is an absolute baller. And,
Mm-hmm.
you know, if I was a university program, I would be reaching out to Johnny Chartrand to see if he could wants to come play for me.
Oh yeah,
So,
100%.
I mean, I might have to put in a word with our friend Kevin Hamlin and see if we can get a Windsor Lancers jersey on him.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Why
That would be
wouldn't
fun.
you?
Yeah. Any other thoughts on the PJHL breakdown?
No, that's about it for me.
Perfect. We'll finish this off quickly with our chat about our Windsor Spitfires. They played 3 games this past weekend. We broadcasted the one on your TV, Windsor. Let's quickly go through this result. Windsor plays Sarnia for the third time in 2 weeks, and the result is the same as the previous 2 games. Windsor wins 8-2 in that contest. Kind of what we figured. Sarnia is a feisty team. They're sitting around seventh and eighth. They're hovering at seventh and eighth in the Western Conference. There could be a potential first round matchup, but Windsor is a much better team there. I don't know if we want to not waste time, but like I don't know if we want to discuss it anymore than that. They were all over them in this game.
Oh yeah. It's it's
Was it-
yeah, the usual part of the course, I guess, shall I say. But
Yeah,
yeah, it was just well, the night we're talking the night we were there, right? Or are
no,
you talking the
I was talking about the Sarnia game.
oh yeah, the Sarnia.
Yeah, they went up 3-0 in the first period. Protus, Morneau, Garden. Then Ethan
Mhm.
Garden gets a second goal early in the second period there. I was hoping that he would be on hat trick watch there, but then Morneau scores a shorthanded goal just a minute later. Now he's on hat trick watch because he's got 2 goals. Greentree scores later in the second for his 36th of the year. Scores again in the third period, 37th of the year, and then the rookie Carter Hicks scores
Mhm.
with less than a second left in the game to make it 8-3, just rubbing a little bit of salt in the wound there.
Yeah, that
Uh,
was a beat down.
yeah,
A
Carter
shocker.
Frog.
Protus scores again. This
Yeah, they're super
Morneau
talented.
Morneau's
They're
been so good lately too. Like he scored late to tie it in Saginaw,
yes,
right?
he was
And
fantastic.
he'd already had 5 goals and 4 assists in his going into Saginaw prior to and his last 5 games going into Saginaw, he had 9 points. I believe he got 2 more points in Saginaw. I believe he had a goal and an assist in Saginaw. And then he
Mhm.
turns around and he scores again against Sarnia. Like this, he's getting hot at a good time, and that's the type of guys we need. We need the depth guys to, because this way, if everybody's going on all cylinders here, let's go.
Yeah, they looked really good. Carter
Yeah.
Frog made 23 saves on 25 shots against for Windsor, gets the win there. Bada bing, bada boom. Spits pick up 2 points. And what more can we say there?
Yeah.
The next night, Windsor was on the road against Saginaw. We were in the studio broadcasting that for
Yeah.
your TV Windsor. A lot of fun there. It was Valentine's Day. I got you guys a heart-shaped pizza. You guys told me to go F myself. I didn't understand. Um, but in the first period, a minute and 30 seconds in, Saginaw was all over Windsor and they score. Nick Sema scores his 13th goal of the year to take a 1-0 lead
Yeah.
in that game. And a really solid effort from Saginaw in the first period there. You thought that Windsor was gonna maybe get one back.
Hmm.
They had some decent comeback in the first period there, but Jacob Kluche scores his 19th goal of the year with just over 4 minutes to go in the period to make it 2-0. And it just seemed like Windsor was stuck in a rut for
Yeah.
like a majority of this game.
Hmm. Oh yeah. It was almost essentially, well, it was kind of a snooze fest for a little bit, just because it was 2-0, wasn't it 2-0 forever? Till
Yeah,
the
it was two
third,
nothing
right?
until like
4 minutes left in
four
the
and a half
third or
minutes
something.
left in the third.
Yeah. And then it
We
was
had
boom,
talked about
boom.
it in the pregame about how the starts for Saginaw against Windsor have been crucial
Yeah.
because they went in to Windsor the week prior and picked
Hmm.
up a win at the
Hmm.
WFCU Center. They used the same playbook this week,
Yeah.
in this game, sorry, and go up
And
2-0
then,
in the first
yeah.
period there.
And then, like I said, it was all kind of stalemate, kind of da 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 back and
Yeah,
forth. And then,
not to say that there wasn't like exciting play, but
no, but it
Andrew
was
Oak
just,
Andrew Oak for Saginaw shut things
yeah,
down really
yeah,
well. He looked really good in his net. Joey Costanzo, obviously in the first
yeah.
period, he didn't look great on those two goals that he gave up, but for the most part, he looked really good. Uh, After he gave up those two goals there, like he was
Mhm.
definitely the reason late why Windsor was able to get to overtime because Saginaw was buzzing toward the end of the game there, looking
Yeah.
to get to take the 2 points there. But I'm getting ahead of myself. In the third period, Windsor rookie first overall pick Ethan Belch has scored his 16th goal of the year to give Windsor some life, and then our boy Noah Morneau, former 15th round pick, scores
Yeah.
21st goal of the year to make it 2-2. And we were in the studio, we're watching in the green room. We're like, holy crap, what just happened? Like, I was sitting down and like making notes talking about how, the Spitfires got shut out or the Spitfires did this. And they changed the narrative pretty quickly, my man.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's just proves to you how fast this game can just flip. That it takes like that, bam, quick. And it was once they got the first one, and I'm like, and then they started humming around. I'm like, okay, like everybody's buzzing right now. And then surprise, surprise, Johnny on the spot. Morno, bam, right there, tie game. And right away, we're all just like, holy shit, like what just happened? And
Yeah,
then what
what a turnaround.
happens? And then what happens? When
Well, we
when
go to
we
overtime and we talk about it for a few seconds. We're like, you know what? Like Windsor did a good job keeping, Misa and Chernisov and Zane Perek off the scoreboard, like just a little bit longer, like see if they can win a shift here in overtime. And what do you know? Michael Misa gets a 2-on-1 break, 40 seconds into overtime, snipes it past Joey Costanzo for his 47th goal of the year.
right in
And
our hoop.
the Saginaw Spirit take home the 3-2
Fuck.
overtime winner. We
Can
forget that this
anybody
team won
stop
the
this
Memorial
fuck?
Cup last year.
Can
Like,
anybody stop this fucking guy?
no, no, he's good.
Oh, but
He's
hey, let's
top
not
line.
put him on World Juniors. Yeah, you guys are fucking smart. This guy's just ending games at will. Like
Won a Memorial Cup already.
Stevie Wonder himself seen that he should have been on Team Canada. You know what I mean? Helen
Oh,
Keller said that he should have been on Team Canada for fuck's sakes. Okay. Like, we're like, Team
oh.
Canada's turning a cheek on this guy, and this guy's fucking taking over games in one of the biggest junior leagues. He's just taking over games like it's nothing.
Yeah. And
Like,
it didn't take much. Like you took off those two extra skaters in overtime and the ice opened up.
oh, fuck.
Windsor, I believe they were matched up. It was Spellacy against Misa's line, and they had done a great job all night. Like they had bottled
Yeah.
them up. And it was a turnover in the neutral zone, I want to say. And Misa skates in 2-on-1,
Yeah.
rips one past Costanzo because he's
He
an
won.
elite player.
Yeah. And he shot where? Where does everybody always shoot? They always shoot that low, about a foot and a half off the ice, right inside the post on the blocker side is where he
Blocker
shot it.
side, right under the arm.
Bing! Pretty much off the post and in.
Yeah, and we got our entertainment, right? We were wondering when the Spits were gonna turn things up. They did,
Yeah.
a good
Took a point out of it. I'll take that.
100%, like full
When you would have
credit
got nothing.
for sure. Like the boys, it would have been easy for them
Yeah.
to pack it in, right? But and that
Yeah.
I think that goes to leadership and coaching, right?
Hmm.
Greentree and the boys getting after each other on the bench, and Walter's talking about what they can do to, switch things around. So, no complaints there. We'll take the point. Wins are
Yeah.
still up, pretty big in the division.
Hmm.
And these games, like they're losing these games now. And that's why when I was talking at the beginning of January, go, hey, you got a 20-point lead. You're going to play this team at home. They had to take care of business then so that
Yeah.
these 4-point swings weren't coming now. Because watch, you're going to see Saginaw trim that deficit in the division down probably 8 to 10 points. And
Oh
Windsor's
yeah.
going to end up winning that division by six, like
Yeah.
6 to 8 points, maybe. Like
Just
they're there's no way that Saginaw's gonna slow down now. Now that they've got Chernisov, now that they've got no, like they always had me as obviously like no, they've moved out some of the older bodies that they had from the Memorial Cup run. They got a
Yeah.
bunch of picks back. They've got a lot of young players still on that team. Sebastian Gervais from Windsor still on that team. He can contribute. Jacob Cloutier's got 20 goals. Like there's a lot of
Yeah.
firepower on this team that a lot of people aren't talking about.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I will never sleep on Saginaw.
Yeah, and the only good thing for Windsor is that based on where they are, if Windsor does win the division, based on where Saginaw is compared to where Kitchener is too, like Saginaw will not finish above fourth in the
Mhm.
division in the conference. Sorry. So if Windsor finishes second and Saginaw finishes fourth, they're not going to see each other unless there's a big upset somewhere or they see each other in the Western Conference final.
Yeah.
So because I don't think anyone wants to play the Saginaw Spirit in the
Not,
playoffs.
not right now.
Not at all. Let's take a look at our Family Day game. The Windsor Spitfires, after shaking off the OT loss on the Saturday, they get the day off and they come back to the rink for a matinee game on Family
Mhm.
Day, Monday, February 17th. They
Yeah.
pick up a 4-1 win in that game, but it was 1-0 for quite a while here, Ant, in this contest.
Oh yeah. Well, that's the thing. And two, you could tell it was a family day game. I don't think there was any fights or anything. Everybody was trying to get along. So,
Yeah.
um, yeah, just Windsor comes home, plays their normal game, shuts everything down, and who all scored in that game?
So JC Lemieux got the first goal for the Windsor Spitfires. So it was like a kind of a crazy bounce off the backboards, and
Yeah.
then Eichler centered it to him, and he just tapped it in.
Mhm.
And it was a minute and 20 seconds in, kind of a bad bounce. Carter George is Owen Sound's goaltender, and he played on Team Canada, and he's got another year or two left
Yeah.
in the league, so they didn't get rid of him after.
Eichler too. That guy, man, he got in a scrap not too long ago. That guy can huck him. I didn't think
Yeah,
he.
he's a tough kid.
Jesus.
Yeah, and he's gotten better. Like last
Yeah.
year, like this team gave up a lot of goals and he was on the ice for a lot of them. And this year
Yeah.
he's done a lot better. He's doing
Yeah.
much better
He's tightened it up.
for sure. And talking about Carter George, the Owen Sound goaltender, like this guy can win a game on his own. And that was from what I
Mhm.
read and what I heard, that was kind of the message from Greg Walters to this team is like you can't let this guy uh keep his team in it. So he's like,
Yeah.
once we score, we got to keep the pressure on and we got to try and get another one kind of thing. Like
Yep.
one's not enough. One's
No.
not enough against this
Mm-mm.
guy.
Mm-mm.
So uh Windsor takes the 1-0 lead into the first period break. Everyone's happy. They score a buck 20 into the game. Happy, happy, joy, joy. They outshoot Owen Sound 16-7 in the first period. And then it's a bit of lots of back and forth action in the or sorry, it was a rebound that Joseph Eichler
Mm.
centered. It was a point shot, then a rebound. I thought I saw the bounce off the board there. I'm looking at the replay again. Um, just a crazy, not crazy, um, kind of a back and forth period in the second period there, and then no more no Johnny on the spot. 8-11 left in the or 8-11 into the second period, scores to make it 2-0 there, and so
That
this guy is super talented.
he is a Swiss Army knife. Okay.
Mhm.
This guy takes face-offs. He gets to the hard areas. He gets those dirty goals. He'll punch you in the face and smile about it. He does it all. And like that's the type of guys that we need. He's fair to say he's a bottom six forward, but you can play him in all spots. You can play him on the first line, you can play him on the fourth line, you can play him on the power play, you can play him on the penalty kill. You can play him when you're down 6-on-4 in your end in the final minute and you need a big face-off win, you can chuck him out on the ice. Like he's always seemed so calm and cool under those stressful situations. You know what I mean? Like he
Mhm.
handles it well. And just I look at guys like that, and it's guys like that. I understand we got our protuses and we got our green trees and our spellsies and stuff like that. Like I understand, but it's guys like this that really puts everything together, in my honest opinion.
Yeah, it's a guy like this that's going to help you win playoff series,
Yeah,
right?
he's
Not
gonna
just.
win you those grimy games.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And this was actually like this was a really nice setup from Anthony Cristofaro. Like Windsor had possession in the Owen Sound attack zone, and he finds uh Morneau on the bottom, just at the bottom of the circle there for a 1T, right on the tape. He claps it right into the back of the net. Carter
Beauty.
George can't get there side to side in time. Beautiful setup from
Hmm.
Cristofaro, but a better finish
Oh
from Morneau to give Windsor a 2-0 thing. And that's what I mean. Like, this guy's going to be a nice pro. He's going to be really good. He's committed to Bowling Green.
yeah.
So he's going to go to NCAA after this. He's going to play and he's going to have a lot of fun. And he's going to, play 3-4 years of hockey. Who
Hmm.
knows at the NCAA level, and then who knows, make it an AHL contract or whatever he wants to do.
Yeah.
I could
Hopefully
see
he
this.
goes
I could
pro
see him playing
somewhere.
in Europe one day for sure.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And why wouldn't you, man? Go make your money.
Yeah.
If you can do it, why wouldn't you?
Hmm. Um. So Windsor is feeling good. They've got themselves a 2-0 lead, and then Alec Leonard scores for the Owen Sound attack to make it 2-1 after you know, 2 periods of play. So it was a really close game, like we
Yep.
said. Carter George keeping his team in it. And this goal was just a nice move by Alec Leonard. Comes in off the boards, cuts in the on the dot, and just beats Joey Costanzo for his second goal of the year. In the third period, though, Windsor shut it down defensively. Liam Greentree did really well, and he was rewarded for his effort because by getting a goal late in the third with just
Yeah.
over under 4 minutes to go, Greentree causes a turnover at the blue line, pokes it past the defenseman, skates in all alone, and scores 5-hole on Carter George to put this game on ice. Just a really solid effort from him. He was
Hmm.
named the game's first star. He was really good defensively in this game, and if you want, that's a winning play because Owen Sound's pressing. They've got possession in your net. You create the turnover, beat everyone to the puck,
Yeah.
clear everyone. Go in all alone, and
Yeah.
score there. Your 38th goal of the year. This guy's been really good for this team.
Oh yeah. And also too in that game, Green Tree and Morneau were both +3 in that game as well too. So I look at that stat because this tells me what kind of player you are a little bit. Because if you're way high on the plus side, that tells me that you're playing in your end too. You know what I mean? So
For sure. You're limiting
and
goals as well as scoring them.
exactly. So I'll tell everybody. So when my son first started playing hockey, it kind of gives me to this plus minus thing. So when my son first started playing hockey, he wasn't very good or whatever. He's way better
He's just
now, but I
starting.
mean, when he was just starting, I would say $5 a goal. So when he would score, I would give him $5, right? But
Yeah.
now leading into now he's getting kind of later years, a couple years in. So now what I do, sure, I'll give you that $5 a goal. But if you're on the ice when the team scores, I take away $3. Because then it teaches him to play both ends of the ice because he wants that full $5, right?
Yes.
And let me tell you right now, he don't get scored on very much because
Yeah. He's
he
back
wants
checking
that. And that's what I do. And I just wanted him to be in what these Windsor guys are doing when I see stats like that is they're being all around players. They're not just like floating around doing this and that. They're coming back, they're playing in their end, they're playing both ends of the ice. And that is the stat that I'm telling you. I always look at plus minus.
for sure. We forgot to say that I forgot to say that Ilya Protas scored into an empty net. There was a
Yeah.
couple of chances for Windsor Spitfires to score in the empty net in the final minute, and Protas
Hmm.
finally cashes in his 37th of the year. Let's
Yeah.
take a look at our stat leaders at this time, and we'll take a look at our standings quickly before we go bye-bye. Okay.
Yes. Yes, sir.
Um, so with that effort, Liam Greentree now has 92 points on the year. Ilya Protas has 86. Michael Miza has 108. Not too shabby.
Not a
Unreal.
big deal.
Miza has 52 goals. So that means he's second in the league. Nick Lardis from Brantford has 57 for first. Greentree is third in the league with 38. Like these two guys are just lighting it up, Lardis and Miza. So, and then Protus is right behind Greentree for fourth in league in scoring. So
That's
goals
ridiculous.
aren't an issue for this team. That's going to be limiting them down the stretch. That's going to be crucial.
Mhm.
I'll take a quick peek at the standings
Oh, damn
before
it. I was
we
just
preview
there.
this week coming up. Windsor is up by 16 points still in the West Division. They're second in the conference there. Let's take a look at our 3 games coming up. The Spits are going to be on the road for this week.
I think Friday
This
they're in Sarnia, right?
Yeah, Friday in
Yeah.
Sarnia, Saturday in Flint, and then they're gonna be back home on Sunday against
And
Saget.
Saturday too, you can catch us in the studio too for that game, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, you can. So that'll be a lot of fun there. So the game on Sunday at home is at 4 o'clock. Any other thoughts heading into this weekend, sir?
Go Spits.
Go Spits. I'm gonna be really tired on Saturday night's broadcast because I will be have just finished broadcasting for 20 hours at the
So we're gonna
Wheatley
be
Track and Field
extra
Championship.
crispy when we
Yes.
crispy.
Yes. So if I'm tired, I apologize now.
Don't apologize now because we're gonna crush it. That's what's
That's
gonna
right.
happen.
That's right.
That's what's gonna happen.
For sure. With everyone's help
Yeah,
along the way.
we're good.
Any other thoughts, sir, before I close it out?
That's about it, my friend. Enjoy, everybody.
For sure. Enjoy these wonderful teams. Make sure that you check out some of these games.
Go
Obviously,
support local hockey.
yeah, for sure. Amherstburg, Wheatley, Moortown,
Essex,
Blenheim. If you're
Lakeshore,
in that
Spits,
area, go check it out.
everybody.
Have some fun with it. Lakeshore, yeah, they've got the Friday night game going
Amesburg,
on.
Wheatley,
Yeah.
everybody.
Let's see you guys out there. Support these kids, support these programs, and have some fun while you're doing it. From all of us here at the HTH podcast, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time from Hat Trick Hockey. Good night.
I've lost my